Hello viewers, welcome back to the Moose Mobile Auto Repair channel, and today we're working on a 2010 Toyota Venza with the 2.7 liter engine. And today the customer's complaint is that the airbag light is on and there's a warning light saying the SRS airbag warning. It's saying to go in and see the dealer immediately to get this vehicle serviced. And this vehicle has been to another shop, and the customer told me that the rear struts have been replaced. They had the rear struts done, and I don't know if the other shop did a diagnosis on the airbag system, but they told them that the driver's seat has to come out. And so I checked this vehicle last week briefly, and so I'm going to show you on how to fix this today. So the other shop, they probably just had a brief look at it. I really don't know if they did the diagnostic, and so the customer came to me and wanted me to have a look at it, and he wants that airbag light to be fixed. And so I checked the trouble code. There's a B1643 stored in the computer, so we are going to have a look at it now and see on what's happening here. So the vehicle is running now. You can see that the airbag light is on, and there's also an information screen here. It says check our SRS airbag system. Have your vehicle checked by a dealer immediately. And so we are going to scan the vehicle for codes and see what's happening here. So I have the scan tool hooked up, so we are going to scan the codes. I just wanted to show you the stored trouble code. My hands are a little shaky this morning, so I apologize for the shaky camera. So we are going to go to SRS airbag. Okay. Read fault code. It says B1643 side satellite sensor bus initialization error, driver's seat side, current and history. So this is a hard fault, and it's been stored many times. So we are going to have a look at it and see on what we are getting ourselves into. So before we proceed with the diagnostic, I typically like to check Identifix to see if there's any common failures or faults on this vehicle and see on what we are going to get ourselves into. In a majority of cases, when you are short on time and cannot bill the customer too many hours for diagnostic time, I already agreed with the customer for 1 hour diag and 1 hour to do the repair. I already know on what the issue is now because I had a look at this vehicle last week, and there's a common problem on this vehicle in which the driver's side door in the front, the wiring gets pinched or broken and also possibly corroded. And it's a common issue on these 2010 Toyota Venzas, in which the yellow wire inside the door it gets pinched and the wire breaks, and that caused the B1643 trouble code to set and the airbag light to turn on. So I'm going to show you just a little bit on the screen on Identifix. Typically when diagnostic time is short and when we just need to get the vehicle fixed and not do anything fancy, I like to develop something called a game plan. So instead of spending hours and hours checking everything and testing and so on, I like to start somewhere based on experience. I like to start somewhere where it's more failure prone, in which you're able to find something just by doing a visual inspection on the vehicle. And a lot of times the best diagnostic tool is your brain, your head, and your eyes to do a visual inspection on the vehicle. And more often than not, you will find the issue of the problem. So now we are going to check the driver's door, inspect it. I'll show you where the pinched wire is, and we are going to repair that. So you can see here I put B1643 and this comes up. So we're going to have a look at it. I always use Identifix just as a guide to see it and what I'm looking for and what I'm getting myself into. It does help because it shows other fixes from other shops in which they have had the same problem. And so sometimes it's helpful. You still have to do your testing and everything, but there are sometimes you can just have a look and confirm to see on what you're able to find. So you can see here it said the airbag light is on with the driver's side satellite sensor bus initialization incomplete code B1643, driver's side collision sensor, a lost communication with driver's side, and so on. There's other codes, but we only have a single code, and it just tells you the test and procedures. Unplug all of these things and swapping sensors and stuff, but I did not need to do that. So you can see over here at the very bottom it says repaired driver's door wiring harness, repaired driver's door wiring harness, and all the same. So it's a very, very common problem on these vehicles. So located broken wire in driver's door, found yellow wire in driver's door jamb, harness broken, soldered connection, added 2-inch of wire, so not too tight, all good after. Bad pin at the crash sensor. The wires were broken going into the driver's door opening. 184,000 miles, somewhat close to what this vehicle has like 254,000. So that's that for that. So we are going to continue on with the rest of the video. So I'm just at the driver's door in the front. I just removed the rubber grommet, and you can see that there's a pinched wire on the yellow and the black stripe wire. You see it's pinched and corroded. It's very hard to see, so it's difficult for me to show that. So, but we are going to repair this. I probably won't be able to show it on camera because it's going to be very difficult to put the camera in there, and it's very tight. So I'm going to have to repair this off camera and then bring you guys back after that. Just giving you a close-up on the pinched wire there and the corrosion. So we are going to have to repair that somehow with the limited space that we have in there. So far on what I did is I disconnected the door check, so I'm able to open the door a little bit more. I just use a jack stand and something to protect the doors so that the door does not swing. And so I unclipped the harness inside the access hole so that I'm able to have some room to work with the wiring. And so you can see the yellow and black wire is pinched. It broke off as I was trying to grab it. So I separated both wires, and so I'm just to give myself some room to work with here. You can see the two broken wires, so I'm just going to repair that. So now I just extended the wire with a red wire that I had in stock. It's an 18 gauge wire. I'm not sure if that's the same size as the original wire. It's either a 20 or an 18 gauge wire. It's extremely difficult to work through here without taking the entire door apart. So I'm just trying my best to see on what I can do. So I got both wires tied up. I'm just going to solder it now. It's not the best looking job, but it's going to fix the problem, and it should be a long lasting repair. This vehicle has 254,000, almost 255,000 kilometers on it. So hopefully we can get this fixed, and we will have one happy customer after this. So I just used a roll of 18 gauge wire. Just trying to get the camera to focus here. 18 gauge wire, red. I have other colors, black, blue, and whatever. I just didn't have yellow, so there's not much I can do there. It's a yellow and black wire. So I tried my best here to do the best I can. It's not the best soldering job, but it's going to hold fairly well. So I'm just going to put the shrink wrap over it, and that should be it. So the wires are shrink wrapped, and that's going to be it. I'm going to tape it up after, but I just want to reconnect the battery and double check that the airbag light has gone away. Usually the codes will clear by itself, but still you should go in the scan tool and clear the codes. I just used a soldering iron that you plug into the outlet, and a Black & Decker heat gun with 2 speeds to it. So earlier I forgot to mention that when you're doing any kind of electrical work, it's always best to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. In this case, the airbag system, you're supposed to wait like a few minutes or something to depower the system and to relieve all charge from any capacitors that may be stored. But I think this wiring, it may not be so much intrusive for the airbag system, but just in case, I just disconnected the negative terminal anyways, so just in case I don't short anything out. So I started up the vehicle, and the airbag light has gone away. For some strange reason, the check engine light is on, and service all-wheel drive is also on. So this engine is shaking badly. I'm going to shut it off. For some reason, this vehicle, it was a crank no start. So I'm going to shut the engine off. The check engine light was on and all-wheel drive was on. Then at one point, the check engine light was not there, but it was just a crank no start. And I checked the oil level. The oil level is very low, and I scanned for codes after I was able to communicate with the scan tool. This is a completely unrelated issue, but these are what the codes came up with. So I'm going to change the oil and see on what happens here. This looks like a very serious problem, so I don't think I'll be able to do anything for this, because the customer doesn't want to spend any money for this issue. And so I'm going to have to see what's going on here. I'm going to put the airbag stuff wiring away. This has absolutely nothing to do with the check engine light stuff. Completely isolated problem, and this is what some of the things that mechanics and or technicians face when dealing with customer vehicles. And so that's the scary part, but as long as the customer is understanding. So I'm going to tape everything up. The airbag light has gone away by itself. We'll still clear the codes afterwards, and that's going to be it. I'm going to tape this up and put everything all back together. So I'm just hoping it's not a timing chain problem, because you know how customers will behave. They will say that it was not like that when I gave you the vehicle before, but I checked the oil level and there's no oil on the dipstick here. I wiped it down and there was no oil. I wiped it down and there was no oil in here. Absolutely nothing on the dipstick. The oil that you just saw earlier was just splashing in the oil pan and stuff. So that's why you saw oil, but there's no oil registering on the dipstick. So we'll see on what happens after the oil change. So I taped everything up. I just need to put everything all back together in the grommet, and then that's going to be it. So the airbag light has gone away. The issue is fixed. It was just a pinched and or broken wire. The yellow and black stripe wire was pinched, corroded, or broken, or whatever. It's all fixed now. That's the source of the issue. And now I have some other problem to deal with here. So I'll see on what happens. I'm going to change the oil. We agreed already to have the oil changed. I know that these, the 1AR FE and the 2AR FE, this is the 2.7 liter, and the 2AR FE 2.5 liters. Toyota engines are known for burning oil, and people, they never check the oil level. And so because that the piston rings were not assembled properly from the factory, so these engines are known to burn oil, especially that they use the low tension piston rings these days on vehicles. So it's not uncommon to see vehicles burning oil. So I'm going to see on what happens after changing the oil. Cross my fingers and hope there's no issues. I'm just going to give the vehicle to the customer. This is my first time seeing this vehicle and seeing the customer, so hopefully there's no problems, but it's not a good sign because the engine was not running very well. I thought that it looked like that it lost communication at one point because the check engine light was not there. Seeing the check engine light is a function of the PCM or the ECM on these vehicles, and so if the check engine light is not there, it means that the communication has been lost, and so you can't communicate with the scan tool. I think it was off camera. It was a crank and no start when it lost communication. I don't know on what happened. It has absolutely nothing to do with the airbag system. Completely isolated problems. So this does happen every once in a blue moon, particularly with customer vehicles, in which I've never seen before, when I'm seeing the customer for the first time, especially with a vehicle that has a little bit higher mileage. So I'll see if there will be some bonus footages and let you know, and just go from there. So I just changed the oil, and this is all that came out. I'm going to measure it and see how many liters this is. This looks like maybe between like 2 and 3 liters or something. It's not very much. This vehicle probably takes close to 5 liters, but I always know that the manufacturer, they understate the amount of liters that an engine takes, especially that if the vehicle burns oil, it's going to be a big problem. Somebody wrote 4.4, but I believe it takes a lot more than that. closer to 5 liters or something like that. Usually, sometimes a little bit more, like 5.25, no more than that. I've seen so many problems with these motors. Always burning oil and always issues, timing codes, cam codes, and all sorts of things. Just tell me on how I know. I've seen so many of these engines in which it's always burning oil. There's not one engine of these in which I didn't see that it's not burning oil. So I'm going to measure this in just a moment. Cross my fingers and hope that the vehicle starts and runs okay. So this vehicle only had 2 quarts in here, just less than 2 liters, 1.75, not even liters in this engine, that's all. And that's not enough oil for the variable valve timing to work correctly, and so that's why it stored all of these codes. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Won't be any issues here, but I'll let the customer know, and that's it. So the engine is running a little bit better, or a lot better. I can hear some rattling in the motor, but it's a lot better now. The engine stays running, so that's the good part. So the vehicle is running a lot better now, but I saw a while ago that the check engine light and all-wheel drive light came on, but I just cleared it. And so now, just looking into the airbag stuff, you can see the B1643 code. You see history is no longer current because it's fixed. So we are going to clear that now. So we are going to clear it, and that should be it for the airbag stuff. The check engine light stuff for the timing codes is a completely isolated issue, so unfortunately I'm going to notify the customer as to what happened, and just tell him how much oil came out and stuff, and just address the concern, and see if he has any future problems if the code returns by any chance. Just doing a full vehicle scan to see what's happening, if there's anything. Sorry for the glare. So everything looks okay. This is just the ABS code that gets stored once the check engine light trips. It stores the ABS and disables the ABS computer. That's not anything to worry about. So I'm just trying to run this vehicle just to get the oil to circulate in the engine, and hopefully the trouble codes don't come back. It's a really bad thing if those codes show up, because then there could be a timing chain issues. I'm pretty sure that some of the damage has already been done, so running the engine oil very low. So I think that's going to be it for this one. So far the engine is running okay, not the best, but a lot better than before. My heart sank when this issue happened. I thought maybe I did something wrong or whatever. So I really hate when these problems happen, because it kind of scares me. And so it does happen though, once in a blue moon, but that's just the way it is. Just address the concern to the customer, and that's it. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and please don't forget to hit that bell notification if you haven't done so. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day and take care.